video is going to be a first impressions get ready with me on all the products that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale this year. I have a new bronzer, a new blush, a new highlighter, some new eyeliners, lip liner, lipstick, all of that. I didn't pick up an eyeshadow palette this time around, and I also didn't pick up a foundation or concealer, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to show you every possible product that I'm using that you could pick up during the sale, because this is going to be a full face of Sephora products. I always do this when the sale rolls around every single year. After I post my haul video, I always come back and give you guys a first impressions of everything that I picked up. So for my eyes, I just primed with my ColourPop Party Proof primer. But the primer that I would recommend to anyone for a good eye base is the Anastasia eye primer. I just get the mini version because I find that the mini version lasts me such a long time, because you need the tiniest bit of this product and it goes such a long way. It makes your eyeshadows so pigmented and last such a long time throughout the day. But I'm not really going for lastability today, so that's why I just went with my ColourPop one. But I would say I would highly recommend this primer. And then for my lip oil, I've been raving about the Ami Colé lip oil. I use this every single day to prep my lips, and honestly, this is the best lip oil formula I've ever tried, because it stays on my lips the entire time that I'm doing my my makeup. I should have picked up another shade at the store yesterday, but honestly, like, I have so many lip products at this point and so many lip oils that I don't really need it. I might pick up a backup of this though. But that would be like the only thing. I'm just going to tell you guys that now, because I already posted my haul, because I didn't expect myself to pick up anything else. That's the only haul I'm doing, and that's it. I'm done shopping. I don't want to buy any more stuff. I just wanted to buy a few things that I've been interested in for a while. And then for my powder to set my primer, I just went in with my Dior Backstage powder. I know there's very mixed reviews on this powder, but I would say if you're looking for the perfect lightweight everyday powder, this is so beautiful on the skin, for me anyway. With somebody with dry skin, I would say, or like the everyday makeup wear, like you don't want to wear too much makeup, this is so beautiful. And so it does have a blurring quality, I feel like, but also it's more so just a very lightweight, perfect everyday powder to go over any foundation, any tinted moisturizer. This is such a good one, so that's why I just used this one today. I usually use my ColourPop Pretty Fresh, but again, I want to use as many Sephora products as possible today. So then for my eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use a palette that I picked up a couple of months back from Sephora. And I would say, out of all the eyeshadow brands, out of every single palette that I would recommend, I would say go for a Natasha Denona midi palette. I think you get the best bang for your buck from the Natasha Denona midi palettes, because you're paying for a beautiful quality formula. And the reason why I recommend Natasha Denona during the Sephora sale, as opposed to Natasha Denona having her own sale, I actually picked this up at Ulta. I forgot that I picked this up at Ulta because I had a $15 off of 50 coupon, and then I used my points as well. So I actually got a better price at Ulta when I picked this up rather than getting it at Sephora, because I don't think I had any rewards or discounts at the time at Sephora. So I ended up picking it up through Ulta. But I would say if you get the 20% off discount, and these are all products that I'm recommending mostly if you get the 20% off, but also I am trying to recommend products to the everyday wearer, to the everyday makeup wearer, like the everyday makeup consumer. If you just shop the sale and you're first getting into makeup, you don't have to splurge on a Natasha Denona palette, but I'm saying, like, out of all the options that you can get eyeshadow palette wise at Sephora, and you're going to get an everyday staple neutral palette for everyday use, and that's going to be your singular most used everyday eyeshadow palette, not like me because I have way too many eyeshadow palettes. I would say go for Natasha Denona, or I would say go for the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palettes, because even though those are $70 and so is the Makeup by Mario one, I would say it is worth the splurge to pick up one palette during the sale, because if that's going to be your most used eyeshadow palette every single day, you are getting your money's worth out of it rather than going for a more affordable eyeshadow. Because honestly, eyeshadow palettes in Sephora are $50 and over. I don't think there's any palettes in Sephora that they sell that are less than $50 now. Like the Naked palettes from Urban Decay, Too Faced, actually the Gwen Stefani and the Fenty Beauty 6 pans are pretty affordable. So I would say if you just want to get basic colors for every day, you can pick up one of those. But I just feel like quads and 6 pans aren't really worth the money for my preferences. I like having options and depth and dimension, but I would say if you were interested in Natasha Denona, I don't think it's a bad idea to pick up a Natasha Denona midi palette for the sale. So I'm going to jump into my eyeshadow, and I'm going to use the Yucca palette today because I haven't used this palette in quite a while. I don't think I've even used Natasha Denona in a while. I think the last time I actually did use her palettes was when I got interviewed by Apple, but I'm going to go for kind of a more greeny look today. Not something like too crazy, but I actually have not used this one shade that I'm using in the crease right now, and this one is called Camu Camu. I don't know, I've just never found a use for it when I'm using this palette, but I'm going to use it today because it needs to have its own moment. I rarely don't use a certain matte in a palette. It's usually always a shimmer if I'm not like able to use a shimmer at some point. I feel like there's like hair in my throat today. I mean, I did just shower and wash my hair, but for some reason I feel like there's like hair caught in the back of my throat. Feels like a hairball. I don't know. It feels very weird though. So anyway, I'm just going to apply this. But yeah, I always try to think about like what products people are interested in or going for. Okay, I feel like that feels a little bit better for like the universal consumer. But also I'm recommending products that I love as well and that I've tested out for you guys and I feel comfortable with recommending to you guys. And the reason why I like to recommend certain brands that also have their own separate sales as well. And usually like Natasha Denona, like I said, is doing like a 20 to 30% off sale sometimes during the Sephora sale. But the reason why I recommend picking up certain brands at Sephora during the sale is that you can return any of the products that you use at Sephora. Like if you test out a certain product for like a week or two and you end up not liking it, you don't have to feel any guilt about bringing it back. I don't feel guilty about bringing a product back. I am not going to force myself to use a product that I just am not crazy about. And I've said this like a million times, but I did return the I Need a Nude palette from Natasha Denona. I feel like I was so happy that she finally did come out with a more neutral palette. And I was actually really excited for it when it did come out. Now I'm using the shade Akia, which is kind of like a dingy, more like grungy toned greenish shade. And I'm going to put that as my defining shade, and that looks so good. But I was so bored with that palette. Like, this palette gives me options, and I feel like this is one of her best curated palettes. Same thing with the My Dream palette. Like I've said before, if you want to go for a neutral palette from Natasha Denona, I would grab the My Dream palette over the I Need a Nude palette. I don't think that the I Need a Nude palette is necessarily worth the money in my eyes, because I feel like you could spend less money on other eyeshadow palettes that you don't need to buy that palette, when I don't think it's that great, honestly. I don't think it's as good as her other palettes are. Like, even when I was using it, I'm like, it's pretty. And if you're totally into that with just like doing a crease shade and then a shimmer on the lid, because you're not really like that experienced with blending eyeshadows, then go for it. But I'm saying, like, it is a lot of money to spend on a neutral eyeshadow palette. I feel like there are better options in Sephora if you want to spend more money, or even if you only want to spend like $50, then you could go for one of the Naked palettes, or you could go for like the Patrick Ta or stuff like that. But again, the Patrick Ta is also very expensive. Like, you don't need to spend $70 on an eyeshadow palette, again, unless you are using it every single day and that's going to be your only palette. And I'm not saying that that has to be... All right, I'm going to go in with Flax, because for some reason that green shade isn't giving it to me. I'm just going to go in with the brown, which is the deepest shade in the palette. And it's just going to give me the depth that I want. So that looks so pretty. I mean, I love like these grungy tone kind of greens. It kind of makes it even more wearable for me. But with eyeshadow palettes, again, I really have not picked up any other brand from the Sephora sale when it comes to eyeshadow palettes besides Natasha Denona in like a couple of years. I think the last palette that I picked up from Sephora during the VIB sale was the Mary Jane palette from Melt. And also Melt has really good palettes too if you want to splurge a little bit more. Melt has great eyeshadow palettes too. But I'm just letting you guys know that for me, I'd rather spend my money on like an indie brand eyeshadow palette or ColourPop, because I feel like ColourPop has a solid, affordable formula that is going to work for pretty much anybody. And I feel like I would recommend ColourPop over an eyeshadow palette at Sephora during the sale. But again, if you don't, like, I'm trying to talk about like a younger girl that's like 15 or 16 and is first getting into makeup, or maybe she's just buying randomly and she's not buying during the sale. But I'm saying, like, it's a lot of money for your parents to spend on you if you want to get like a $50, even $70, even $50 eyeshadow palette, I mean. But $70 is a lot of money. Like, in the end, the parents are the one that are usually providing the money, unless, you know, like, you're working in high school, and that's great. But you just have to think about it from like a financial standpoint, because I feel like during that time is when you really start thinking about like the way that you spend money. I mean, not everybody does, but for someone that has a little bit more life experience like myself, you start thinking about like more so like the cost of things and what I'm gonna spend my money on and what products I think are more worth spending a bit more on than an eyeshadow palette. Like, I'd rather splurge on a foundation than splurge on an eyeshadow palette unless it's Natasha Denona. But that's just my preference. Again, there are some great eyeshadow palettes in Sephora if you want to pick up an eyeshadow palette based on the palettes that I mentioned. Like, all of those are good options. I love how I said, oh yeah, I've tried all of these and I would let you know. But meanwhile, I've never tried the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palettes or the Makeup by Mario, because again, I just didn't think it was worth the money paying for them, because again, they're expensive. Like, again, I much rather go for a Natasha Denona palette, but that's just my preferences. If you get the 20% off and you're eyeing the Makeup by Mario palette or the Patrick Ta, I would say go for it. Go for like what you want to get. You don't have to listen to me about, now I'm just saying bullshit. You don't have to listen to me about what you should pick up. I'm just trying to recommend products that I know are good and that I, again, have my own personal experience with. But again, you don't have to feel obligated about keeping everything that you buy. Like I said, you can always go return it. So that's why I always say go for it if you want to get it. Oh, okay. I just posted my Sephora haul and I got a comment, so that's nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish up my eyeshadow. I went into the shade Macchia from the palette, and I just find that the shimmers in this palette are so worth the money. They are so ridiculously blinding. They're like probably the best shimmers I've tried from Natasha Denona. And that's why the I Need a Nude palette kind of underwhelmed me. I mean, if you want to get the I Need a Nude palette and this palette just for the shimmers, you could combine those two palettes and use these as the shimmers and use the I Need a Nude for the mattes, because the mattes in there are very neutral and very easy to use everyday matte shades. So I'm just going to clean up the eyeshadow a little bit and then we will get into the base product. Okay, so I just went ahead and dried my hair because my hair was wet, obviously. And now we're going to go into the base products. Let me just put my hair up. Give me a second. I forgot to get my sponge. All right, so for my primer, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I would say probably just pick up a travel size of a primer. I really love this one, especially if you have dry skin. It really adds a beautiful illumination to your base, and it also kind of is super nourishing and moisturizing. So that's why I really love this one. But I would say even if you have oily skin, I mean, I would recommend this for dry skin because, again, I have dry skin and I think that this is a great base. But I would say when it comes to primer, you don't have to spend money at Sephora for a good primer. The drugstore has so many good options for primers. So, but I would say if you decide to get a primer and you have dry skin, or even if you have oily skin, I would just go for a travel size one because they last a long time and then you can try it out and you don't feel like you spent a lot of money. So then for my foundation, I'm going to go into the Makeup Forever. Don't do what I just did and splatter it. My lord. I mean, I just got like a tiny bit on my hoodie, but that's annoying. Like, really annoying. I mean, it doesn't look terrible because it kind of blends into this. But I just took like 2 pumps. But anyway, I'm in the shade 1RO2. And the reason why I recommend this foundation, I mean, there's so many good foundation and concealer options at Sephora now. I think that brands have really come out with some great base products this year, and also concealers. I feel like the concealers that I've tried from Sephora lately have been so good, but we're going to talk about concealers when I apply them. I still have quite a bit of product left. But the reason why I recommend this foundation is that I feel like this is the perfect everyday foundation for anybody. It's so lightweight on the skin. It's such a light layer of foundation. And it's just, like I said, it's pretty much true to the claims, is that it really is undetectable coverage. Now, if you're desiring more coverage than this one, I would go for like probably the which one? I'm like kind of blinking, like the YSL All Hours, or like the Glossier foundation is actually a really, really good medium to full coverage foundation. I would recommend that one because that one's really nice and lightweight on the skin, but it provides really beautiful coverage. But I would say the one that's the most universal for me, and also for multiple different skin types, would be this foundation. I've seen people that have oily skin, even if they have oily skin, it's not their all-time favorite foundation, but they don't hate it. Like I've seen, I'm just gonna add a bit more coverage because I feel like I need a little bit more. But I'm just saying, like, if you want like a light layer like this, it is just the easiest foundation to blend out, and it looks so beautiful on the skin for most of the day. It wears really well, and it's just such a light, blurring, beautiful finish that, like I said, I would recommend this foundation to anyone because it really does have like this quality of like undetectable coverage, but you see how it like perfected everything, but it's so skin-like, and it's ridiculously lightweight, and it just blends in beautifully to the skin. So that's why I would recommend this foundation over any other foundation. This, I feel like, even has lighter weight coverage and lighter coverage than some of my tinted moisturizers that I own. So if you're going for a tinted moisturizer, though, I would highly recommend the Cali Ray one. That one is so good. I've been using that so much. The Fenty Beauty Easy Skin Tint is a great one as well. And so is the, what is the other one that I'm thinking about? The Rare Beauty one is really good as well. Those offer good coverage. They offer like a good medium coverage. But this one is so, like I said, lightweight that it kind of wears like a tinted moisturizer, but it doesn't feel like a tinted moisturizer, but it has like the coverage of one. But this has more of a consistency of a foundation, but it's so lightweight and just such a beautiful everyday option. So that's why I recommend this foundation. I would also recommend the coinciding concealer. If you are looking for a great everyday concealer, I would go for the Makeup Forever one. I think it's a beautiful concealer. Again, blends in seamlessly with the foundation, or pretty much any foundation that I use, but I tend to use this concealer when I want a little bit lighter coverage for like a day like today. I don't need something that's gonna like heavily cover my under eyes because I don't really need that today. But I would actually wear this probably for a day where I want to go for a little bit lighter coverage but still want something on. But there are really good concealer options at Sephora now. But this one I really love because it's so hydrating. It's so lightweight. You can build it up to as much coverage as you want, or as little as you want. I'm in the shade 1.1N. But also the concealer that I would recommend again for everyone, besides this one would definitely be the Tower 28 concealer. I know everyone is hyping that concealer up, but honestly, it is so worth the hype. It is such a beautiful everyday concealer. Again, it kind of has a similar consistency to this concealer, I would say, but I think that the coverage is so good on the Tower 28 one. This one you kind of have to build up a little bit more, but it's still a beautiful concealer. So I would still recommend both of these. I also really love the Haus Labs concealer. It is the most unique concealer formula I've ever tried. It's such a gel-like consistency, and it is a great concealer. I really love that one too. And I would also recommend the foundation as well. For dry skin or combo to dry, I wouldn't necessarily, it's the best for sorry, my boyfriend's annoying me again. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best. I cannot speak right now for like oily skin, because that foundation can be very shiny, but I love it for dry skin because it just looks so beautiful on the skin. So I would say that that's a great foundation as well. So out of all the concealers that are out right now, I would definitely recommend one of those three. I think they're all beautiful concealers, and they wear beautifully, and they look so good underneath the eyes. Okay, and then for my under eyes, I'm going to use the Haus Labs blurring powder because, again, I want something that's lightweight today. I'm not going for, like, super heavy-duty coverage. So I'm just going to set my under eyes with that. When I'm trying to get it out of the cap, but it's not really. Okay, there we go. That's better. This is like a really lightweight blurring powder. It's not necessarily a setting powder, but I really like how it looks underneath the eyes and also how it blurs the rest of the face. It always looks really, really nice. So I'm just going to apply that. And then for my face, I'm just going to go back in with the Dior one again. But do you see how beautiful my under eyes look and how brightening that concealer is? It's just such a beautiful, natural finish to the skin. So I'm just going to show you guys what my skin looks like. Isn't it so, so pretty? Like, insane. I love how my skin looks right now. And then, again, I'm going to set with the Dior powder. So I'm just going to go in with that. And then we will get into some new products because we actually have not used one new product yet because everything that I picked up that was new to me was not eyeshadow or base products. I almost picked up the Gucci powder, but I was like, I'm not spending friggin' $65 on that powder. I mean, yes, I probably would use that up and it would be a worth it to me splurge, but I'd rather use up my Dior powder before I buy any new powder, and I'd rather use up the powders that I have and use every day, which is usually the ColourPop one. But I am going to go in with a new setting mist. So I did pick up the Always an Optimist 4-in-1 mist, and this is a glow boosting mist that hydrates, primes, sets, and refreshes skin. I feel like I need like a lot of it though, because I feel like it does dry very fast, but it has such a nice mister and it feels really, really nice. And it feels like it has some like oily kind of qualities to it, but I feel like I swallowed a little bit of it, like I got it on my tongue. So let's go in with another new product. So I also picked up a couple of the shades of the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils, and this one's in the shade Limitless Brown. So I'm going to use this to line my waterline because I really, really wanted to try these. Oh, yeah. That's really, really smooth. Okay. I've heard that these are so good, and I finally decided to pick one up and try it. So that is so smooth and comfortable on the waterline. That's really nice. I'm usually hesitant about picking up wooden liners now. I kind of prefer like push-up ones, but this one's really nice because I'm such a anal Annie about the how comfortable an eyeliner applies on my waterline, because I really can't stand like an uncomfortable liner. So, but that's really beautiful. So I really, really like how that applied. So let's just go into the inner corners really quick. So we're just going to take the shade Kamarabi, which is the most stunning inner corner highlight. Actually, we're going to go in with Ray because I kind of want that mustardy, yellowy kind of vibe still on the eyes, and I didn't want to go in with like a super bright gold, so I'm going to go in with Ray. And this one's a really pretty like yellowy gold shade. It has a little bit of green in it too. It's kind of like the shade that we put on the crease. In the crease, I mean, in like shimmer form. It's very similar. That is so pretty. So what are you guys thinking about picking up during the sale? You don't have to listen to me at all. You can pick up what you want. It's your money and it's what you want. So I'm just trying to recommend things that I've learned while shopping the sale, because I've been shopping the sale for a few years at this point, and I will create a list and pick up those products. But like the Sephora sale is really the only sale that I like to create a wish list for, create a certain list, because I love shopping the Sephora sale. And again, I intended on not picking up anything, and then I was like, I kind of want a couple things because, I don't know, I guess they get me because you get a discount, but also I feel like the Sephora sale, again, is a great way to save some money, and everything is all in one place. Like, people can go into the store, they can get everything that they want in one place. And I think that's why the Sephora sale is still so popular. Like, I know that Morgan Turner was kind of saying that people have not really been shopping the Sephora sale anymore, but honestly, because they always say that like the website is having so much traffic and blah 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 and whatever, like Sephora always sends out a email saying we, due to really high traffic you know, on our website and orders coming in, it sometimes like freezes the Sephora site, or people can't even order stuff. But I actually think that might be true, but I decided not to order anything on the website this time. I did what Morgan said, but also I kind of learned from the last experience that I had. It wasn't Sephora's fault really whatsoever. It was more so like the delivery service. Wow, Caitlin. Because Sephora is always nothing but nice to me when it comes to their customer service. I think they have great customer service. I've never really seen people like have bad customer experience with Sephora. It's more so like the in-person experience in store as opposed to like the customer service reps. But anyway, I think the sale is just a great opportunity for people to pick up gifts and also, you know, go on a shopping spree with their friends and get a little bit of a discount. So I think that it makes the whole in-person shopping experience still worthwhile because, you know, less and less people shop in store, but my mall is always super busy until up to like Christmas. Like, not the mall itself really, but like certain stores are really busy. And then, like, during the last couple of weeks, like in December, it's very busy in my store. But I don't know about your Sephora's, but my Sephora was busy yesterday because everybody was shopping the sale, and I think it's going to be busy all the way up until it's over. Like, I was actually shocked on how many, like, younger girls were there during the time that I went because it was, like, a little bit after 2 o'clock. And most high schools get out at 2:15, so I'm like, why are there so many, like, you know, what they kind of looked like 17 and 18 though. Maybe they were like freshmen at college or something, but I was kind of shocked on how many people were like younger, but there was a lot of like, you know, older women there as well. So all right, so I'm just going to reapply that a little bit. I need to hurry up because I want to be out of here in like 20 minutes or so when I'm still doing my friggin' eyeshadow. So let's pedal to the metal, Caitlin. All right, so now we're just gonna clean up the under eyes a little bit more, but I think that looks really pretty. I have like no room anymore, I swear to God. All right, let's put this over here. Okay, I'm just gonna do my lash primer real quick. So we did my primer, and now we're gonna go into, and again, you don't have to spend too much money on a lash primer. You can get the Essence Lash Primer at Ulta, and this is $5, and this is the best lash primer I've ever used, and it's so cheap. So for my mascara, I'm going to go into the Tartelette Tubing Mascara, and I got this in the Mascara Favorites set. This is the Lash Stash To Go set. This is a really good set because it comes with 5 mascaras, and after you try them out and like use them up, you can go to Sephora and pick up one for free because you can keep your voucher that comes in. Oh, wow, this is giving me a lot of length. Sorry, I'm not talking about me applying it, but that looks really, really good. I've heard really good things about this mascara, so I was very interested in trying it, and I haven't tried a Tarte mascara in a long time. I think the last one I had was the Lights Camera Lashes one, and that was a while back, but that's really nice. And for some reason I was really intrigued on trying this one first out of the kit, and that looks really good, like really good. Okay, and then for my lower lashes, I'm just going to use my Maybelline Lash Discovery, so I'm just going to apply that real quick. Okay, so the mascara looks really good, but what I was saying about the voucher is that it comes with a voucher inside, and it says that you can use this to redeem any full-size mascara that comes in the set. In the set, Caitlin, not sa. And it's this, they scan this little thing, and it's a really, really good set. All right, let's get into the rest of the new products. So we're going to try out the new bronzer I picked up. I don't know why I'm holding it upside down. So this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer in the shade Light. I've actually never tried Makeup by Mario's bronzers before. I've been kind of going down the list of his products because I really, really love his cheek products. I've kind of fell in love with all of them. The only product I'm not really too crazy about from him is the lip suedes. I don't think they're that great, but I love his regular lipsticks. So this is what the packaging looks like, and then when you open it up, it has a really nice mirror, and this is what the shade looks like. So we're just going to apply this. When I swatch this, it's really swatches like a silky dream. So I have a feeling it's going to be a really nice everyday bronzer, and that just took like 2 seconds to apply. Like, look at that. I'm just like sweeping it, and I feel like that applied really, really easily. That's very lightweight. That's really nice. I've gotten so much more into bronzers, and that's giving me such a beautiful sun-kissed natural color to my skin, and I really, really like that. That's really nice. Again, it was very silky smooth when I swatched it. I would say any bronzer is pretty much worth picking up during the sale. I mean, last year, or I think almost 2 years ago, I splurged on the Gucci bronzer. I would also recommend the Pat McGrath bronzer if you don't want to spend as much on Gucci. I would get the Pat McGrath one, but you know what's actually interesting is that they pulled Pat McGrath from my Sephora. I found out yesterday when I was shopping. I was like, oh, really? I'm like, that is very, very interesting. They said, yeah, she actually wasn't selling enough. Makeup by Mario is still a hot brand, so I'm very surprised. I mean, I thought that there was still a certain audience and clientele for Pat McGrath in that store because my mall has a lot of high-end stores in it and a lot of, you know, wealthy people shop in my mall. So I was actually really surprised that Pat McGrath was pulled. But more people want to get Valentino or Gucci or Charlotte Tilbury or YSL or Dior. Those are the luxury brands that are going to sell. Okay, and then for my blush, I picked up my very first product and blush from Danessa Myricks. So this is Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in the shade Jubilee. So I am really excited to try this out. When I swatched it in store, these swatch so ridiculously pigmented. So, and I've heard that these are like the best cream blushes. I don't know why I keep on holding everything upside down. So this is what it looks like. And then this is what the color looks like. I'm so excited to try this. I'm just going to use my regular ColourPop blush. And we're just going to apply this. I just kind of swiped it in the pan twice. And I'm just going to see how this applies if my hair doesn't get in my face constantly. Okay, there's a bit more product. I picked up quite a bit, but that does blend out really beautifully. That is very blurring. Oh, that's nice. That does lay very smoothly on the skin. Okay, it is Yummy Skin. And I would say it definitely applies very smoothly and very pigmented. I don't know if it beats my Makeup by Mario cream blush, though. That is still my absolute favorite cream blush. I don't know what it is about his formula, but this is really, really nice. It's very pigmented, and it goes on very smooth on the skin, so I do like that. That's really nice. It's very pigmented, though, so I would say a little goes a long way. And I kind of had to swipe a little bit in the pan, but it's still really, really pretty. Excuse me. Just need a little bit more here because for some reason my face just does not want to have product stick there. It's not the blush, it's definitely my face. So that's really nice so far. I like how that looks. I would say any Danessa Myricks product is worth it during the sale because some of her products, especially her eyeshadow palettes, are pretty pricey. I wish that she would come out with lip products, though. Like, I kind of want to try, like, a lip product from her. I don't know why she doesn't have any. But I'm also glad that my Sephora carries Danessa Myricks. Okay, let's go into the highlighter. So I would say, again, a bronzer, blush, highlighter, I think are all worth getting a little bit of a discount on because highlighters and blushes especially can be very, very expensive. And I like that during the sale you have such accessibility to so many different brands and so many different blush formulas and so many different highlighter formulas and bronzer formulas. And I think it's a great opportunity to pick them up during the sale. And then For my highlighter, I'm going to go into this Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter in the shade Iced Out. I kind of used a little bit of this yesterday in my Sephora haul. I just wanted to apply it and see how it looked, but now we're just going to apply it fully. So let me just grab, you know what I'm going to do? I haven't used this brush in so long, but I'm going to take my old Anastasia brush and we're going to apply it. I usually use my ColourPop one because I think that one just applies to the skin better. But I used to use this brush all the time. Okay, that looks really beautiful. Don't sleep on Anastasia highlighters. She still makes amazing highlighters. I wasn't too sure if I was going to pick up anything from Anastasia though, just because I'm not really crazy about the brand anymore, and also their stance about, you know, the war in Ukraine and everything, but I thought that this highlighter was really pretty. I actually picked up this one. That looks so good with this eye look. It's almost like the same shade as the shade that I put on my lid, but it's like a bit more subdued. So that looks really pretty. That's gorgeous. I've always loved her highlighters. Like, she has a solid highlighter formula. Okay, I feel like a bit of hair here. That's like not ideal. But yeah, we are almost done. I feel like I've been rambling and doing my makeup for a century, but we do have a new lip liner and a new lipstick to put on. Let me just see how this looks. That looks absolutely stunning. I love that. Oh my god. That's so pretty. Yes, that goes like perfectly with this. I thought it was going to be a little like lighter and a bit like more white based, but it's like more goldeny, like goldeny green. That might be the kind of highlighter I've been looking for a while. That's really pretty. Okay, now we're just going to use the Rare Beauty spray again. Again, really, really nice mister. And then I'm just going to set my brows real quick. Okay, and then for the layups, I did get... Oh my god, I cannot sometimes. I really just can't. Like, what the fuck? I blurred out the wrong word, but I don't care. I really don't care. For my lips, I'm going to go into the lip liner that I picked up, which is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. Everyone's been raving about this. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that if my lips weren't so friggin' wet from my drink. Okay. I really never pick up lip liners anymore because I have so many, and since I picked up the set of liners from ColourPop, I find that I don't need any other shade of lip liner. Because if there's two products I barely pick up in, besides primers, I really don't pick up primers that often, is lip liners and powders, especially lip liners. I might pick up one lip liner a year because I have so many. And I use like the same 5 shades of lip liner anyway. But I also thought that this would be a nice like mid-toned like eyeliner shade too. So I'm glad that you can use it in both ways. So I find that, you know, getting this is not as like as much of a waste for me because I can use it in both ways. Even though I've done that before and used eyeliners as lip liners, and I've used lip liners as eyeliners before. They're kind of like very similar products. But I would say use eyeliners more as lip liners. It's a bit unsanitary to use a lip liner as a eyeliner because you are using a lip liner around like your mouth area where you can be close to like your saliva and stuff. So I mean, you can just wipe it off and then use it again, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, be a little careful with that. And then for my lips, I'm going to go into the Haus Labs Lip Crayon in the shade Honey Matte. I just decided to pick up another shade of these. So this one's the shade Honey Matte, and I'm very excited to apply this. Oh, that's pretty. Y'all know I love my honey tone nudes. I would say with Lady Gaga, pick up one of the blushes, pick up one of the lippies, and pick up one of the bronzers. I would recommend those 3 products because I've tried a lot of products from her line as well, and the foundation and the concealer. Literally last year, I think I picked up so many Haus Labs products as soon as her line hit Sephora. And that's mostly what I bought during the sale. Can't believe, I think she's been in Sephora almost a year now, which is kind of crazy. But I would say do not pick up the new eyeshadow palettes. Those are a ripoff. And if you want to see why, then watch Morgan Turner's video. I swear, if you need someone that will give you all of the details that you need to know about every single product during the Sephora sale, go to Morgan Turner's channel. I literally watch every single video that she comes out with during the Sephora sale. She's the most informative YouTube channel, or probably the most well-rounded, I would say, during the Sephora sale. I love her channel, though. I watch her, like, almost every day. But seriously, she really does give you the down low about the Sephora sale. All right, I'm just going to finish applying this, and we can finally be done. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I really like every product I tried out. I think everything is really, really nice. I would say the only thing I don't think I'm really that crazy about is the Rare Beauty setting spray. But it feels really nice on the skin, and I really like the finish that it gives my skin, but I love how my makeup looks right now. I really used products that I really love, and I think my skin looks so pretty and glowy and healthy right now. I look snatched, okay? I think I look really nice. But the complexion is giving. It looks so good. So yeah, I loved everything. I think the blush is really nice. I think the highlighter is beautiful. I think that the liners are great. Love the mascara and the lippy. I have been using these lippies ever since she came out with the first round of them back when she was just on Amazon, okay? This is the first lip crayon that I got from her. This is the shade Dust. So, and I actually repurchased this. That's how much I love these lip crayons. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And what are you picking up during the sale? Are you picking up any of these products after you saw me use them and try them out? Please let me know. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.